These are my first impressions after 48 hours of using the Dell Inspiron 16 Plus. This is going to be a pretty quick video because I haven't spent that much time with the laptop yet, but I wanted to sit down and talk about what I think is good about it and what I think is less good about it, if you plan to pick one up for the Black Friday sale tomorrow. This one is on a pretty decent sale on Black Friday, and from what I could see in the US, you have a good sale on all the different versions, even the one with the 3060 GPU. And in Europe, especially here in Scandinavia, there is only a sale with the 3050 GPU because we can't even buy it with the 3060 GPU currently. But there are a bunch of different versions and all of them are on pretty decent sales right now, so head over to Dell.com and see what you can find there. My general first impression of the Dell Inspiron 16 Plus is that this is a really nice, pretty high quality feeling 16-inch laptop, and I prefer it compared to the other 16-inch laptops that I've been using during my laptop testing career. The last one I was testing out more in depth was the Lenovo IdeaPad 5 Pro, the 16-inch version, and this one I felt had quite a bit of flaws, and I ended up returning it because of these flaws. I'm not yet sure if this guy will live up to some kind of 16-inch hype, but my first impressions has in general been really good with using the device. First of all, I want to mention the fingerprint reader. That I think is doing a great job. So you see there, I'm touching it and I'm getting right into Windows 11. And this is much quicker than the Lenovo units I've been using, so that's something I value quite a bit, because it gives a quite fluid experience to using the laptop. The second thing that is good is the screen. I would actually say that it's pretty great. The combination of a high resolution panel but in a matte form factor, together with a 350 nits of brightness that I definitely find enough in this kind of screen, and the fact that this is a 16-inch 16:10 aspect ratio, I just think is a great combo, and I truly enjoyed using the screen, both in my desk setup but also on the go. The second thing that I like a ton with this laptop is actually the trackpad. And I'm a little bit surprised because I heard a lot of people criticizing the trackpad, but I think the size and the feeling of the trackpad is great. And Windows 11 seems to have improved a little bit on how they use gestures, how they use different desktops, and I've actually been using the 3-finger swipe and 4-finger swipe quite a bit with this touchpad, and I think it works great. I haven't had any of the issues that people mention with the trackpad, but keep in mind I've only been using this for a few days, so something might show up later on when testing it more, but so far, so good. Actually very good. The third thing that I have been liking are actually the speakers. Even though the speakers are placed right under here in a pretty odd position, I still think that they are doing a pretty good job. For being downward facing speakers in a Windows machine, I think these are totally okay speakers for my kind of needs. And I never see myself wanting way more than this, and then I come from using the MacBook Pro M1 Pro, so I have been getting used to some really good speaker quality, and this is still fine speaker quality for my needs. I love the fact that there is an SD card reader on board, but even more the fact that when you put an SD card in there, it doesn't protrude at all. So you can actually use the SD card reader for putting permanent storage in there. The things that I find to be less good is, first of all, the keyboard. And I feel like I have to elaborate a little bit here because there are parts of the keyboard that I really do like. And mainly what I do like about it is the numerical part. Like the numerical part of the keyboard has been working really well for all my different needs, and I tend to use it quite a lot. The second thing that I like a lot is that the keyboard backlight is not too bright. It's never too harsh. And I think that's the case on a lot of different Windows machines. But the thing that is a little bit of a problem here is that the keyboard is not a lot of travel distance to it. But I'm okay with this. Like, I'm starting to get used to this with the MacBook Pro M1 Pro. However, it is a little bit too hard to activate the keys. And especially that goes for the keys on the bottom row here, so like the space key. I feel like the force that this key needs is too much for me to be able to comfortably type for a long period of time. And I will see if this is something that sort of softens up over time. But right now I was just playing a little bit of Overwatch and I could just find myself getting annoyed at the laptop every time I was trying to do something with the space key. And I mean, that is used for jumping in games, or it's used for flying when playing Farah, and it's really hard to do that with this keyboard. So I will prefer to use this computer with an external keyboard, and then maybe see if it softens up a little bit after some more use time. The second thing that I think is a con that is really worth mentioning is that it does spin up and there is fan noise. And I was running this game of Overwatch, and of course the game is pretty demanding, so it makes the fan spin up. The performance was pretty good, like I was playing ultra settings at the native resolution and getting 70-80 FPS, which is great. But the fans were getting really loud. When the game was on, it was not too bad, but when I was in the waiting room, so there's not that much game sound on, you can really hear the fans spinning a lot. And the thing was that when I close down the game, it takes a long time before the fans stop spinning, and they gradually spinning a little bit less, and then 5 minutes later a little bit less, and 5 minutes later a little bit less, but there's still a bit of noise from the fans 15 minutes after closing the game. And to me that didn't really make sense. It shouldn't have to be spinning at an audible pace when I'm sort of idling, but I have been doing a heavy task beforehand. So this is something I will do a little bit more testing of, and I will be back with more info when I come with my full review. If you have any questions about this device and whether it's worth to buy it tomorrow during Black Friday, I will definitely be down in the comment section below and answer the questions that you might have. I hope you have a really nice day, and then I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.